Judging by like how soon the live after I said we should be live right now, hopefully. So I just set this up and hit the screen. Yeah. So yeah, they cut a bit of the road trip.
Honestly, if that's all they cut, I'm not as annoyed as like I thought. Like I'm sure there might have been some great moments in that road trip, but I don't know if that's all that got cut. Then fine.
Yeah. So like before I really get to this, it's like I feel like this episode came out better than a lot of them do.
Honestly, if that's all they cut.
Right, I forgot to turn the sound on that more. That's fine. That's up. Okay, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Preface, or yeah, I guess that's the word. I like this. I like this episode. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's honestly pretty good. But it's like they saw at the top of my head. It's like they count the road trip. They cut like this scene of like the divination short a little bit, which is honestly fine because we don't really need to see that.
I don't really. No, never mind. I was gonna say something stupid. It's fine.
And like, if I remember right, they also like cut short some of like the explanations for like, you know, how the ghost cave works and like, you know, oversoul evolution and stuff. But it was like nothing of value was really lost, really.
Still, that's information that probably should have stayed.
Yeah.
Then again, like, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe
well,
it's not.
It feels like the biggest thing we lost is that it's like. So a big point of this episode is that it's like, you know. So like.
Manta's in the hospital.
Yeah, Yo and Manta get into a fight and then road trip, and Yo gets a new oversoul. And they count a bit where, like, Yo's grandpa was like, oh yeah, Yo, oversouls can evolve multiple times, and Yo, hey, Yo, like, if you completely master your oversoul, you might even be able to make your spirit completely material.
I was gonna say, like, judging by the end of the episode, I was like, oh man, is he gonna like level his oversoul up to the point where he's just encased in energy and like he has like samurai armor?
Yeah, he could just like become effing a Mitamaru or something. Honestly, that'd be pretty sick. I'd be into that.
Honestly, if it was just you know, at the end of Naruto when Naruto and Sasuke fuse their big stupid power-ups together.
Yeah.
that's just a game thing, isn't it? That doesn't happen in the show, right?
No, that happens. That's canon.
Oh, okay. I thought that was one of those like Cyber Connect was like, let's do this thing. This would be cool.
No, like they give Sasuke a kaiju form specifically so he can just fuse it with the Nine Tails.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I was thinking of, like, aesthetic-wise, is, like, Yo would look like the fused version of, like, Kurama and, Susanoo.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like Yo would just look like Susanoo, because honestly, that'd be about right, really.
Yeah. Also, turns out poor Manta is a mutant because his father's a mutant.
Yeah. Like, so we get to see Manta's family, and, like, I don't think they're actually meant to be, like, people with dwarfism or anything. I think they're just meant to be, like, stylized short people. But boy, does it run the family hard.
Well, like, Manta's dad here, his head is as big as this dude on the left's chest.
Yeah.
Like, and then his little sister is, like, tiny. Like, way tiny.
Like, in the manga, you get a shot of, like, the entire family together, which is, you know, basically all the characters you see in this episode. And it's, like, all three of them are standing together, looking just, like, really weird and cartoony. And just off to the side, just a little to the left, there's the mom, and she's, like, just towering over everyone.
Yeah, and she has normal proportions.
Yeah, it just makes it feel so much like I guess it makes sense, because, like, yo, why would she be built like this too, but still. It feels so, like, weird.
Yeah. we get a little bit more. Like I was always like, I don't care about Monta all that much. It's like whatever. He hasn't done anything. This is the episode that's like, hey, Monta's a character. Monta's got things going on.
Yeah, he's got like a family and like, they have expectations for him and stuff, and he has to
Yeah.
like deal with that.
Yeah, the thing he has going on is kind of cliche. His father runs a successful energy company, I think.
Yeah,
And
I
like,
believe in the manga they say works with like electronics or something, but it's like, it doesn't really matter really.
Yeah, he's like, you're I expect you to inherit the family business. I'm sending you to America so you can't hang out with that scoundrel Yo. They're a bunch of weirdo witch doctors and like whatever.
Yeah, like I think like the exact line in the manga is something like, "Oh, if you hang around with something or other, you become red, but if you hang around with ink, you'll become black or something." Is in like, oh, you become what you're like around essentially.
Yeah, he's in the anime. He says if you lay down with dogs, you'll wake up with fleas or whatever.
Yeah, probably a way better comparison, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like they're trying to get Monta to go to America, and Monta's like, no, I want to hang out with Yo. So he goes to see Yo, and Yo's just in the hospital because he had a bunch of broken bones and stuff. And
And
Yo's.
he does the typical anime thing. Is like he doesn't want to see Monta get hurt, so he's just, I'm not your friend anymore. Go away.
Yeah. I do like how it's handled, because, like, it is a bit like better handled in the manga, because they have like a bit more time to build it up and stuff and really sell the tension. Because like, boy, that page of like, just everyone's expressions, they just kind of like, look away and don't want to look at Monta for like a second, is like, it's tense.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
thought
oh
it was
boy.
Yeah. At first I was like, oh, the Monta's like having a nightmare or something, and then it's like, no, wait, this is real.
Yeah.
And then I actually realized what was going on. It's like, oh, he's trying to distance himself from Monta so he doesn't get hurt anymore.
Yeah. Don't forget, like, Monta could have just died last episode.
Yeah.
Like, he got cut open down to the muscle.
Yeah. And my problem then became, it's like it's kind of frustrating when the characters don't realize what's happening.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those obvious things. It's like Monta, come on, man.
Because Yo's just straight up like, I'll apologize to him later, but it's like, yeah, you really gotta do this. Alright.
Yeah, I had completely lost. I was scrolling through Twitter a little bit and I saw something stupid and it just made me lose my train of thought entirely. Yeah, Yo just doesn't want Monta to get hurt. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things, like, just talk to him about it.
Yeah, Monta's Monta's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if Yo was like, oh yeah, I don't want you to be held hostage again, Monta would be like, okay, yeah, I'll listen to you.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I remember what I was going to say. It was very out of character for Yo to act like this, and so it's one of those things where it's like, it should have been really obvious.
Oh yeah, extremely so.
Because it's like, it wasn't just like, I don't want you, like, it's like, we're not friends anymore. He was like, when I told you to run, you didn't listen, and because of you, my dream is almost shattered, and I don't want anything to do with you anymore. And it's like, he's very, very mean about it. It's like, this isn't Yo. This isn't how he acts.
No, go away, Monta. I don't like you anymore. Go off. Be with your own kind.
Go on, don't you know? Don't kids tell I don't want to be around you anymore. Go on, get out of here.
Get out of here, Monta. And you're like, pushing the dog away.
Oh, yeah, he leaves, and Anna's like, wow, I didn't know you could be that mean. And he's like, I had to do it.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go back home and train.
Yeah. There is a bit that, like, this is another thing the manga kind of skipped over real quick. Cause like they mentioned that like the next fight's not going to happen for another 3 months.
Okay, I thought that was kind of weird that it was like, oh, he has time to go and do this?
Yeah. No, these fights are like pretty generously spaced apart so that everyone has time to heal up. Cause like if you're
Right,
non-peak condition, there's no point.
right. So the fight between who's the first guy? Oh,
Uh
Horo was the first guy, wasn't
yeah,
he?
Hor was the first guy. And there's
Horo
like
and
unofficial
Faust.
fights before that, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so the fights between Horo and Faust were probably decently spaced apart.
Yeah. Cause like honestly like all the fights in the series so far have been pretty spacious, really. Like on like the actual timeline.
Yeah,
Cause
they just don't
yeah.
really get that point across.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it because you just like time skip without much of a mention, and like everyone just seems the same because anime.
Yeah. Enough time has passed that Ryu's hair is starting to grow back in the weirdest way it possibly could.
Yeah.
I think the idea is supposed to be that it's growing back like a bamboo shoot,
Yeah.
which is
So
hilarious.
I want to like ask you very quickly. It's like, how do you feel about like time passing in the background so everyone can heal up, as opposed to like the JoJo's method of like people get like cut to ribbons and they just have a good night's sleep and they wake up completely fine.
Uh, Depends on the severity of the wound and depends on how like the series itself.
Because there are
Like
moments in JoJo's where it's like, oh, Kakyoin's tendons were chopped off. He won't be able to walk for the rest of the fight. And next episode, he's like out breakdancing.
yeah, JoJo is full of like weirdo freak super mutants.
Yeah.
The worst thing that happens is like Kakyoin loses his vision for a while, and that takes a while to actually heal, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like they walk off these things that are like they're bad. It's like
Yeah.
tendons cut, you shouldn't be able to walk for a while. But it's like I don't know, a little like next episode he's fine. It's like whatever, it's JoJo.
Yeah.
For all I know, he's like got Hierophant Green like supporting him or something.
Yeah.
Is it Hierophant Green?
I think it's Harfang Green, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this show has put more of and more of an emphasis on these characters are hurt and they need time to recover, and so that's what I
Yeah.
expect.
Like, because it's interesting, because it's like, Demon Slayer has like a very similar kind of like, I don't want to say a similar kind of thing going on, but it's like also has a lot of like focus on like characters healing and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's like, it's like they have to keep going from fight to fight so it like becomes a problem, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's like
It's
a major
like I said,
thing.
it's yeah, like I said, it's the context of the whole thing. It's like if an injury is supposed to meant to be if an injury is meant to be bad enough that it's part of the story, and it's like the characters are actively having to fight against that injury, then yeah, it
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense for them to like just walk it off or whatever.
Yeah, like most of that series takes place with like characters still being injured and they just have to keep going. And they just to a point where it's like, okay, things are too bad. We gotta take like 4 episodes off to heal.
Yeah. There is this is kind of a weird thing, but uh it's not injury, but it's like sleep deprivation, and it's Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're being hunted by Azula and her friends, and they're being tracked by these like lizards or whatever that can follow Appa
Yeah.
by his shedding fur, so they can't rest. And honestly, thinking about this example had me thinking like, wait a minute, that's kind of goofy. And it's like these are young, like these kids are young. I
Yeah.
pulled so many all-nighters as a kid, you wouldn't believe it. Like, and I get it. You're gonna get tired after spending like staying up all night. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. But the degree that they're tired is like kind of goofy considering how young they are.
Yeah. It's still a really good episode.
It is a good episode. I think it is that the one where it ends with like Aang, Zuko, and Azula, and they're all having a big showdown.
Yeah, they have the big showdown between all of them.
Yeah, that's a good episode.
Oh man,
I'm just kind of surprised that like the sleep deprivation seems to be exaggerated for that episode.
Oh yeah.
But the point I'm making is like even during that showdown, I think Aang is fighting kind of sloppy because of how tired he is, and that makes sense. They were like, okay, here's fight scene. Now Aang has to fight. It's like, no, Aang isn't doing well because he's super tired.
Yeah. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. I think.
Yeah, it's just like continuity from injuries.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that applies to sleep deprivation.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, so like Monta goes to the airport and he's just like, no, I don't want to go through with this. I want to like be with Yo and stuff. And he like runs away from his family at like the airport. And he's immediately like, wait, crap, I left my wallet on the plane. Oh no.
Not on the plane, he left it in his suitcase.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I can't go back now.
Fortunately, Ryu is just there, and Ryu's the best. I'm liking Ryu more and more every episode.
Yeah, this
or
is
at least
like
every episode that he's in. He's so cool.
This might be like one of Ryu's better episodes to date because he just shows up, and he's
like,
just.
He's like, I'm going to America to learn to be a sushi chef, which doesn't make any sense to me. Why go to America to learn a Japanese thing?
So this is one of the things where they did, like, cut out a bit, because he's like, first off, he's like, oh yeah, I finally graduated from high school, and, you know, all this stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, the housing market in America is really good, right? Yeah, I want to go there. And he's like, there's so many places that could be my new best place.
Yeah, there's a whole thing where he's like, he's talking to Manta, and it's like, yeah, I have goals and aspirations and stuff, and like, oh, what about your friends? They all got jobs, and they found their own places in the world. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Ryu and his gang really grew up.
They really got their crap together.
That's amazing.
Like, all they needed was a place to stay, and they just, you know, turned everything around just like that.
Yeah. And it's like, he's like, I'm gonna go to America to be a sushi chef, or at least in the anime, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then Manta tells him his problems, and he's like, all right, pack up, we're going on a road trip.
So, I don't know what, like, the word for, like, a reverse weeb would be, where it's like, you know, someone who's obsessed with Westaboo. Yeah, I get the feeling that Ryu's totally one of those.
He might be really into.
Yeah.
Well, that's what like the pompadour and the tough guy act, and like the Yankee. I think that's what it's called, Yankee style. Yeah, that's basically that whole movement is based on Western greasers.
Yeah, because he's totally got the whole disco thing going on. And he's just straight up like, I think they cuss out the anime, but he totally says it in the manga where he's like, oh yeah, I want to open up a 70s themed restaurant. Like, specifically. And it's like, you know what, I can see it.
Yeah, he would make like one of those like one of those drive-in diners where like the waiters have waiters and waitresses like roller skate.
Yeah.
He totally run one of those.
Oh man.
I want to see Ryu succeed and make that restaurant.
He needs to have it.
But for the time being, he's like, hey, what about your sushi chef thing? He's like, whatever. I was thinking of going and learning to be a shaman anyways. He's like, what? Or no, he's like, He's like, I was gonna go learn to be a shaman. And Mats is like, what about your sushi chef thing? And he's like, sushi chef, shaman, they're both cool.
Yeah, it's like sushi chef can wait. I can wait on my dream job, man.
Yeah, I'll go learn how to fight with ghosts.
Yeah, he's like helping people find their besto place is what I do.
Besto press. You gotta roll the R/L sound.
The besto place. I can't do it. It's too hard.
Besto press.
But yeah, they go on the big road trip. Meanwhile, Yo is like training, and he's like, oh yeah, I need to make my spirit powers stronger. So his grandpa's like, okay, well, first you have to die.
Go get lost in this cave for 7 days.
Yeah. They were very weirdly, because they're like, oh yeah, you have to just die, so go to the land of the dead. But what they're basically just talking about is like sensory deprivation.
Yeah, to the point where your sixth sense is the only thing that is active or whatever.
Yeah, just wander in this cave alone in the dark and find your way to the end after like 7 days of walking. And then when you come out the other side, you'll be stronger because, you're like forced to rely on your ghost sense.
Spoilers, it works.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy, because I'm pretty sure that's long enough to kill a man, but sure.
They're superhumans.
Yeah, it's anime logic.
Yeah, it's like they've established that they need time to heal up from stuff, but like this doesn't seem too out of the ordinary for me.
No, this compared to everything else, this isn't too much of a stretch, really.
Yo found like a river because the cave was at the mouth of a river, so whatever, there was water running through it.
Yeah, like as long as you can find water, you can live for a good while.
Yeah. And heck, it's probably pretty well implied that, like, yeah, he didn't eat anything that whole time, because as soon as that's over, they're just like, all right, food time.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah. But that's jumping really far ahead.
Yeah, because we got the road trip to talk about.
Yeah, or at least what little of it we see. And it's like Ryu and Manta eating at a diner. And it's like Manta's still talking about his issues he's having with Yo, and even Ryu's like, "What, are you stupid? Like that's not Yo. Yo wouldn't act like that."
I do really miss that, like, so in the manga, like, Ryu just gives a whole little speech. Where Ryu's just like, oh yeah, Yo will, like, hang around Yo cause, he's, like, a shaman or whatever. You wanna hang around cause, like, that's, where, like, the fun stuff you wanna do is. Cause, it's your best place. You have fun hanging around this guy, and that's why you wanna be with him. And Ryu's like, really, like, all of life's just like that. You just have to find that thing that you find is fun, and, you just turn that into your thing.
Speaking of which, there is a whole thing where it's like, Mata implies that his life isn't a very great, like, he doesn't really have a great home life.
Nah, they've forced him to study super hard. It's the whole, like, parental expectation thing.
Yeah, and he's like, hanging out with Yo is the most fun I've ever had in my entire life because you won't let me do anything.
Yeah.
And even when he's like in the hospital and like his little sister mentions he has a friend, and like his mother's shocked, and it's like, yeah, you won't let him do anything.
Yeah.
The boy probably doesn't have a chance to make friends.
He probably really doesn't. Like, the entire reason he met Yo is because he was, like, running late from, I believe, like, cram school or something, and he had to take a shortcut through the graveyard to get home on time.
Yeah. But yeah, but eventually, there is a scene we cut to where there's this girl who seems to know who Yo is, and she's like...
Before we get to that, I do want to quickly mention that Ryu goes on his little speech.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's the whole thing where he's like, hey, you know what? I like rest stops like this. They're, like, fantastic. I love them.
There is something nostalgic about it, but maybe that's because as a kid, my dad worked with the pipeline,
Oh,
and
really?
so yeah, and so I think he did. It was my dad or my grandpa. Somebody worked with pipeline, and so we would travel, and we would go out of state and stay in like campgrounds, and like I went on a lot of road trips as a kid.
Okay, yeah.
So like the idea of like a nice little diner that you're unfamiliar with on the side of the highway, like it's like a cozy nostalgic feeling for me.
Yeah. But yeah, he's like goes on about how he's like, oh yeah, I love these like 80s knickknacks and the like atmosphere and all this stuff. And he's like, the road suits me. I'm like a real man's man or whatever. He's just like glorifying up so much. He's like, I'd like to open up some place like this and sell sushi.
What's there's something Ryu says early on, something about like I think he says something about like a guy who has it together is popular with the ladies.
Yeah, I think he says something like that.
Like, okay, Ryu's just doing the like Ryu's good-heartedness is like to pick up chicks, but hey, like he could have worse motivations.
Yeah. Like, I got the impression that it's like Ryu's just like a cool, good dude at heart. There's some very weird quirks to him.
Like
One of which is, yeah, like
beating up a
hitting
middle
on middle
schooler.
schoolers.
That was weird.
That's weird. Cause like, so how old do you think Ryu probably is, honestly?
You just said he graduated high school, so he's like 17 or 18.
Yeah, like I'm thinking maybe like 19 at most. So like, it's not too like out there, but still like I look at him, right?
Yeah.
The guy could pass for like 20.
For the sake of being as the least amount of creepy as it could possibly be, let's assume Anna's like late into middle school.
Yeah.
Like last year of middle school. It's still creepy, but
Oh boy. Like he's such a good character that also has this weird side to it that's like, yeah, let's not touch that too much.
hey, to be fair, he did it once, got rejected, and then he pretty much dropped it. Even after he met
Yeah.
Yo, like as soon as he met her and learned that she was Yo's fiance, he basically dropped the whole thing. Like
Yeah, like
he's not still hitting on Anna, which okay, great.
yeah, he's not harassing her, but he is still totally like, oh yeah, Anna's gonna think I'm cool if I become a cool shaman, right?
I'm just going to assume that he likes them and he wants them to respect him.
Yeah. Cause like so they do the road trip and they run into like effing Yo's hometown where there's I forget what this girl's name even is.
The town's name I think is Izumo.
Yeah.
And yeah, I forgot the girl's name too.
But yeah, it's like
But
this
she practices divination, so she can like read the future and such.
yeah. It's
Supposedly.
yeah, there's something like interesting about that because it's like this is one of those super small changes that's kind of probably for the better. Cause like in the manga you see she's like, she's doing the whole like Ouija board thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like in the manga she's using like a coin and it's like coin divination. But in the anime they changed it to this little like heart shaped thing she was just moving around, which honestly suits her character way better.
Board thing, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those small weird little changes.
Yeah. Either way, although it seemed to be implied that her guardian ghosts are the one who told her this divination.
Yeah.
Also, there's this thing where it's like, oh, she's so shy that she won't talk to Yo's grandfather without like writing down what she wants to say on a piece of paper and showing him. but she'll approach two strangers and boldly challenge them to a fight and tell them to leave.
Yeah, it's one of those weird character traits where it's like we're kind of shown it, but doesn't really stick that much.
Well, yeah, because it runs completely opposite to how it should be.
Yeah.
She's known Yo's grandfather for like since she was 6 years old, but she approaches these two strangers and demands they leave.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't make sense.
we should talk about this for a second. Just this.
As a socially awkward person who cannot really talk to like people like strangers without like being really awkward about it, her entire character makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, we should probably talk about this scene for a second.
Tanuki have big balls. I don't know why the fox is peeing on him though. Also, in the little like the little halfway point of the episode where it shows like a couple of characters and then it like as a transition thing and then it goes to the rest of the episode. There's a point where you see the Tanuki and you see like his tail up in the screen, up in the screen, but it's like because of where it's positioned. I was sitting there like, please be his tail.
Yeah, you
like the Tanuki balls, yeah, that's not surprising. That's just Tanukis. That's how they portray them in everything.
The
but
manga
it's like,
makes a very specific mention that the hair is very scratchy.
Gross. I mean, it's gross enough as is that like even this thing where he's holding Manta with it. That's totally just something about Tanukis. It's like, yeah, they use their balls as sacks to hold things.
Yeah, kid, like, are the ends of their tails supposed to look like what I think they're supposed to look like?
I don't know. All I know is that Tanukis are always depicted with big balls. I don't know about the tail dong thing.
Yeah, this girl has the worst spirits. Just straight up.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Because, like we would get introduced to, like, the Tanuki. It's like, I didn't catch it at first. You just straight up see the dick. It's just there. It's just poking out its little spike. It's so gross.
I wasn't looking very closely, but I'd believe it.
Because I missed first viewing, and then I saw it in the manga and linked it, because I'm like, oh my god, what is this? And I looked back at the anime, and yep, it's totally just there.
I was gonna say, like, maybe the Tanuki balls thing's just gross to us because we're Americans and we're not like it's not like a tradition that we're like familiar with. But even she was like, "Oh my god, they're so embarrassing."
Even she's like, "Just please stop this. This is the worst. Don't. Oh my god, it's in his eyes. It's everywhere."
So I don't like these characters. They're awful.
Yeah, these characters are terrible.
Heck, so she calls the fox what are their names, Paunchy and Conchi or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're good because they're like guardian spirits, but they're like very undisciplined, so they just do a bunch of rude, crude stuff, and they like smoke cigars and do wacky comic relief hijinks with each other.
Yeah, in a series where like say there's a time skip, I could see them like growing into like actually pretty cool characters. It's like they mature and become cool characters.
I feel like that's not gonna happen.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, heck, I'll make another comparison to Naruto. In the beginning of the series, when he first learns to summon, he gets like this little frog, or toad. They're toads.
Yeah.
I forget his name. But later in the series, he summons him again. It's like, oh, he's like a giant, like a giant ninja toad, like the previous one. And he's like,
he's like Gamakichi.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gamakichi's like, oh wow, he's like a full-fledged ninja toad, like his predecessor. And it's like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it's if the fox here is supposed to be a kitsune, then he's only got one tail, so that would imply that he's very young.
Yeah. I just imagine it's like, this guy's not going to grow up to be like a Remon or something. He's just always gonna be a little brat.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like, there's no way.
I mean, as far as the series is concerned, yeah, they're probably
Yeah.
never gonna grow up.
Why'd I
into
say
anything.
Remon when I meant Cubimon?
They're both fox creatures, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see. I don't know, the balls thing, that's always going to be gross. But the Kitsune Conchi, I think he's Conchi.
Yeah.
I don't know. If they did a time skip, I could see him becoming like a cool character.
Yeah, he does like fuse into our little spirit board thing, and he becomes like a crossbow, and that's kind of neat.
Yeah, and she's like, okay, well, you're not going to leave, so I'll have to kill you. It's worth pointing out that she almost kills Manta because her spirits lied to her.
Yeah. So before I get to this, I just want to point out real quick that it's like she can just manifest an oversoul.
Yeah, that's something I noticed too. It's like, whoa, what?
And Tanuki guy just can like grab you up in his balls and hold you still. If she had to fight Yo, like at any point before Silva, she would have just wiped the floor with him.
Yeah, she's like, oh, everybody treats me like a novice, but I'm not, and it's like, oh, your spirits are kind of stupid or whatever. But then it's like, oh, she can use her oversoul. That's something that not even Yo could do until like a day or two ago.
Yeah, she's at least like an intermediate shaman as far as like we're concerned, I guess.
Yeah, she's way more talented than I guess everybody thinks she is.
There is a quick line where she, like, it gets revealed that her spirits lied to her, and, Anna's like, yeah, no, this is why people still say you're a novice.
But she does tell her that she did her best or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, at least she tries.
Also, there's this whole thing, she loves Yo. Like, she's been following Yo since she moved there to train or whatever. And she's like, I know that Anna's like his fiance, but I don't care. I love him anyways, and whatever. And then Anna shows up and puts an end to the fight.
So, question: how big do you think the harem is going to be for Yo by the end of the series?
I hope it does. I hope they don't do that.
How big though?
Ideally, it's like a thing between Anna, Yo, and this other girl I don't remember the name of.
Yeah, I think that's about as far as it goes. As far as I'm aware.
That's as far as I'm willing to tolerate.
Oh, man. But, yeah.
Like, if it just turned into a harem anime, I would lose my mind.
I was gonna say, like, it needs to occur a harem anime, but all the girls are for Ryu, but, like, no, I don't think I'd actually want that.
June Tal shows up and she joins.
Yeah. You know what? I'd be super cool with June showing up and just joining the main party. June's awesome.
If for no other reason than to see more of Lee Pyron.
Yeah. Like, I feel like, June, like, could totally be redeemed as a character, and Lee Pyron is, like, an awesome spirit companion.
Yeah. But she's not part of the opening thing, I don't think.
Nah, unfortunately. So she probably won't show up.
Also, apparently there's a whole thing where the Tao family sucks and just, like, is continuing some kind of cycle of hatred that Ren hates.
Yeah.
Ren hates his family, I guess.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. So yeah, maybe that'll be his path to redemption.
Maybe. I mean, he still tried to kill that dude.
He's tried and succeeded to kill many people.
Yeah, he tried to kill that dude with the car, and then he did kill the test examiner, and I'm pretty sure he's very much trying to kill Yo.
Yeah, he seems very intent on it.
Also, he seems like a little brat. I mean, he always did, but, like, he gets out of the shower and he, like, yells across the house for his sister to bring him a towel and milk, and it's like, dude, get it yourself, you lazy brat.
I do quickly mention we do see Yo's new Oversoul, and we kind of did talk about it a bit earlier.
Oh, we're just jumping all over the place, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we do get more of this. We see this dad's whole thing is the leaf spirits, so alright, yeah, makes sense.
This is Granddad.
Yeah, his granddad. Yeah, he beats them with his new Oversoul. It's like has a different shape. It's kind of cool, yo. It's like more armor and stuff.
Also,
And
Midamaru can talk in this form.
yeah, because his mouth isn't physically holding the sword anymore.
Yeah, okay, good point. Yeah, that's something I didn't really think about in his previous forms. Like, I didn't even think about the fact that Amidamaru would stop talking. And it's like, yeah, 'cause he's holding it with his mouth, but that still, I figured he
Yeah.
could talk, whatever.
So now he can like give his like wisdom and advice and stuff as they're fighting opponents, as opposed to having Yo figure out everything on his own.
Yeah, so not only is it seemingly a straight power upgrade, it's like, oh, Amidamaru can give advice now.
Yeah. Which is probably going to be invaluable unless Itnar shows up again.
Yeah. I mean, the writers are probably like, hey, what if we just made it so Amidamaru could still be a character even in fights?
Yeah, alright, that's fair. But yeah, and we get a quick thing with Ren as you were talking about where he like just gets out of the shower, he's like, oh hey, sis, milk.
Bring me milk in a towel. And it's like his guardian ghost is like, your sister's gone. She went back to China, dude.
It's like, get your own milk.
Also, 100 years ago.
Oh man, I just realized.
I hate whoever subbed these.
Oh man. But yeah, we get a quick thing where it's like, so Red has a new outfit going on. Cause like, I guess Shaman, but he's got a new like, top to go with his stuff. And it turns out it's just a big like yin-yang tattoo on his back. Like the yin-yang symbol.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I was like, yeah, we see like him from the back in the shower and he has like this big tattoo on his back.
Yeah, it has this new outfit where it's like got a hole cut out of the back of it. So that when he puts the shirt on, like, you can see the yin-yang symbol properly framed in it.
I didn't realize that's what that was. That's so stupid.
It's so dumb, but it's kind of cool, though.
Have a yin-yang design on the back.
Yeah, no, it's gotta be carved into his flesh.
He could still do that.
Gotta have this shirt custom made so it can show my sick yin-yang tat. But yeah, Bison's just like, oh yeah, I used to be like a cavalry fighter, so that's probably why I lost. And Ren's like, yeah, noted, we got a horse now, let's do this.
Yeah, the horse White Phoenix.
Yeah. There's a weird, like, note they make in the manga where they're like, oh yeah, we actually put the soul of his old horse into this new horse, seemingly.
Fine, there's precedence for that.
But yeah, it's honestly not important, because the big thing is that he has a horse now.
Yeah.
As we've seen with...
Yeah. I guess it has the soul of his previous horse. Which would make him stronger.
Yeah. As we've seen with the Lee Pyron fight, having the proper equipment to battle makes a big difference.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like Ren's like, oh, using excuses you didn't have your horse, and it's like, but you know that's how this works.
Yeah, because you have the horse now.
Yeah, he was physically weaker because he didn't have as much of an integration with his past self as he could have.
Yeah. It's like not his ideal fighting style.
Yeah. So that explains why Ren all of a sudden had a horse. That I appreciate that at least.
Yeah. It wasn't just to look cooler, it actually has a purpose.
Oh, he fought on horseback. Okay, cool.
Yeah. This probably means Ren's not going to do much horse stuff though, because like horses are notoriously hard to draw.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like the horse will probably become incapacitated either at the beginning of the fight and like because Yo is like, oh, you have to deal with this or whatever, or like that'll be the crux of beating him, is like I have to get rid of the horse, and that'll ultimately, as soon as he does, the battle will be over.
As soon as you get rid of the horse, now Yo has an advantage, but does Yo have it in him to hurt an animal?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But like I said, unfortunately, we know that, like, unless it's intended for Yo to just lose the Shaman King fight, like, he can't lose this next fight. In fact, he can't lose any fight after this.
Well, he just needs to win this fight, and then he's on to the next round, right? Because this is like the preliminaries.
Are his losses reset?
I'd assume so.
We don't know that.
Because the preliminaries the next round might also be double elimination, or it might just be single elimination.
True. Oh, there was also something mentioned in the early part of the episode where, like, Yo is Faust's second victory, so he's moving on to the semifinals or whatever.
So he don't have to worry about just running into Faust again until, like, a good bit, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to quickly note that it's like, the fact that Rin just has a horse now does mean that he is at least listening to his spirit guardian more.
Yeah.
So that's a step up, because, like, the first time I saw him, he's just straight up like, yo, spirits are, dominate their will, spirits are tools, da-da-da. And now it seems like, yo, after his defeat, he kind of learned his lesson. And now, like, Basan has, like, more control, right?
Yeah, I didn't even consider that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's, like, worth noting. But yeah, anything else we really want to say about this?
I don't really have anything else. This is a pretty good episode. It might be my favorite so far.
Yeah. Got, like, a proper...
The fights are cool, but I appreciate when it's not just a bunch of fights.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We get some character moments and, like, backstory and growth.
I feel like if you're just watching the anime straight up as it appears on Netflix, as in you're, like, marathoning through it all, then this is gonna be, like, a really much needed break from the action. 'Cause holy crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, like... It's gonna be interesting to see how the fight actually goes. Cause, yeah, it's another thing, cause, like, in the manga, you actually, like, see what Rin's Oversoul is. But it's from, like, a weird angle, so you can't quite make it out super clearly. But yeah, the anime's just sitting on that, so that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Well, when he's monologuing to himself, or, like, there's a flashback that Yo has, where it's like, he's, like, remembering that when Rin showed up to, like, screw with the fight. Yeah. And he's like, I just wanted to show you my Oversoul.
Yeah, which is weird, because, like, we don't actually see it.
Yeah. Well, it's just Rin on the horse with his weapon, and,
like, he activates it, like, fast enough to, like, take out the big skeleton, and he, like, immediately reverts his weapon back. Like, did you see how cool my Oversoul was?
And Yo's just like, I blinked and I missed it.
Yeah. And he's like, Faust, summon another 2,730 calcium giant. No, it's like the 1,230 kilogram calcium giant. Right, that's it. Yeah. Gotta get the specifics right. But yeah, I guess that's the episode.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys around then. Later.